think that was the screeching of the seat. Well, hello there, friends. On this lovely Tuesday night, March 13, 2018, it is about 8:38 p.m. at night. If you couldn't tell, it's supposed to be a day off. You know, you put in your 5-day grind, get your 1 day off, and it's back to work again for another 3 days, and got the weekend off. But such is not always life, you know. Little things come along, sometimes big things. I'm just ultimately trying to be grateful about it. As frustrating and as frustrating as it was, and as angry as you can kind of get, but ultimately it was minor. I woke up today pretty early. Mom and Dad are at work. I just see Dad's laptop has this error on it. I think I've seen it happen more and more. It's, you know, one of the lovely things with Windows 10, just some weird startup error, but you can just restart it and it works fine. So I did that, and then noticed the sound does not work. Basically, the stupid thing thinks that there's no like audio device, and so you do the whole troubleshooting, reinstalling, uninstalling drivers, blah blah blah, back and forth, like none of it works. So I thought, oh damn, did like something on the motherboard with the sound go fritz? Load up Linux Mint off a USB and the sound works fine. So like, oh okay, so this is just some corrupt bullshit on Windows 10. Spend quite a while just doing the eventual, you know, eventually you just get to the point where, well, at this point, gonna probably need to do the old reinstallation, the old can't figure out how this little thing seemingly doesn't work, so just reinstall Windows, you know, the classic solution. So reinstall it, keep all the files. Oh, we got sound, it's working fine. All right, well, let's just go get all the Windows updates that it needs. And then there's like, of course, Windows updates has its own problems. I really love that like every component of Windows 10 has a troubleshooter. And anytime you run it, even if it seems like it's working fine, it finds errors. It's just, I don't know if that's good or bad that you can troubleshoot something. This is like, well, shit, great. So we got one problem fixed, now there's another. Now you're doing the endless Windows update fixes for this code. I found this Microsoft page with like, try this, does that work? No. All right, try this, did that work? No. Try this, did that work? No. It must have been about 6 options until it was like, do a in-place upgrade. Essentially, it's like reinstalling Windows, but still allowing you to keep all your files and stuff, except it's not going off of what's built into Windows 10. It like re-downloads all the files and updates on its own and whatever, you know. It's like, wait a second, I thought I used a reset my PC feature. I thought that reinstalled Windows. I guess the files that were already on here must suck. So yeah, I went through all that bullshit. It's like, oh, well, alright. So, reinstalls it back. You go run the update again, and voila! Oh, it works. We got sound, and the fucking Windows update works. Yippee! It's just some of the audio crackling that I remember that computer used to have. It's like once in a while you open up a system menu and it sort of like pops the sound for a second and then plays. I don't even remember what the solution was, but my dad, they just used the laptop primarily. On the TV, yes folks, I know, 5 minutes and counting of I don't know, rambling family laptop repair talk. But don't worry, there is a little thing about a potential date. But you know me. We don't get emotionally attached anymore, or at least try not to. But yeah, so after all that shit, and yeah, like I kind of did some stuff, and I think it sort of helped with the audio, but I think going through the TV, it doesn't really matter anymore. So got Outlook, got Microsoft Office reinstalled, Malwarebytes, Firefox, got the bookmarks, blah blah blah. And then around then, my parents came home from work and all that, and it was like, wow, I thought I was gonna be productive today with something else, but I was laptop repairman. It's it's just that thing of like anyone who does any sort of IT stuff as part of their job, even if you're not like a help desk, whatever. I mean, even if you're just, I imagine even if you just work at like the Apple store answering questions about iPhones and shit like that. It's like you spend your day doing that, and then you get home. It's like the last thing you want to do is spend any amount of time fixing stuff at home, especially when it takes I started at about 8 a.m. and didn't finish until about 6:30 p.m. Literally the entire day went towards that. So yeah, I thought I got everything reinstalled more or less, and Dad was just gonna go through and finish up some last stuff. Yeah, so I was going out to the park and just working out. And it's like, oh, don't worry, it's fine. And then he like sends us a message like, nothing is working. It's he can be such a boomer with technology. It's the whole, I get frustrated by a thing or two, and like nothing is now working. I understand it. We all do that. But I love him either way. That's all right. It's a small price to pay. Helping out, keeping the family laptop working for, disappointing your parents who gave you the American dream, and you turned out to be some failure. But anyway, so I drive back. I did like several sets into working on trying to do pull-ups with like a closer grip, just varying up some of the variation. Yeah, no chin-up work. I'm like doing the handstands and shit, like it aggravated my golfer's elbows. So I think I already talked about that. So yeah, I feel like in this grip it doesn't really bother it much while I work on like the wrist rotations with the dumbbell, because yeah, fuck the TheraBand flex bar thing. It ain't doing anything anymore. So what the fuck was that? So it's like, okay, I'll drive home, and I get home, it's like, alright, what's not working? It's just, he like goes to this, he goes to Russian websites where you can watch, like get Russian movies, and so obviously, like Malwarebytes pops up and stuff like that. That's why he has it. I was like, I bookmarked this website and it's not working. It's like, alright, well, let's cut out the welcome.php part or whatever, and it works. And like, okay, which link do you actually want to bookmark? So we click on it. It's like it's a much longer link. It's like, how the fuck did you get this? Like, of course it's not working because it's not really going anywhere. So get the right thing bookmark. Oh, it's not opening in uTorrent. Like, all right, well, let's try a movie. Like, okay, it's working for me. Like, all right. And he really likes the Windows Media Player Classic for all his files. Like, well, I can't find it anywhere to open with. So it's like I open up one of the files. And like, no, I don't want the Windows 10 movies thing. Let's go down for more options, and then click on the thing that says search for something that isn't on here, and we find the directory where it's at and select it. Or it wasn't doing it for me. And well, I want it to associate with all file types. It's like, but it's not letting me select them. It's like if you try to do it, it says you don't have the required permissions, and literally like below it there's a thing that says open as administrator. Like, all right, well, let's click this, and like, oh, suddenly we can associate Windows Media Player Classic with everything. Yay. And I just clicked on all the movies and said always open with Windows Media Player Classic, and there we go. Oh, everything's solved. So that was, so I drove back actually to the park after and finished up doing my pull-ups. And when I get home, I need to go to the gym real quick and work on the back extensions. Getting better and better at doing those. I've started holding a little dumbbell just to add extra weight. But yeah, that was my, it's the classic, just a random thing with Windows 10 stops working, and so yeah, that was my day, folks. But there's more. This is just a long appetizer, for the main course. But the fuck is that? I think it might be the cedar. I keep like pressing my knee into something. But I'm as frustrating and as angry as this whole experience today has been, especially since this is your one day off. And speaking of which, I was supposed to have my lunch with the half Afghani friend, and I didn't hear from him about like, oh, do you want to stop by this time? I have a feeling he might have forgotten, since we kind of planned this out more than a week ago. But or maybe he just sort of woke up and had one of those days like I have, where I just don't want to be around anyone, which is completely understandable, and yeah, since I was dealing with all that shit, I was like, oh God, need to get this done. Why do you help your parents with the computer? Well, I mean, my parents, a lot of stuff for them is focused around it. Watching movies, going on Skype, talking to people, reading news, blah, blah. I mean, obviously, and I want to help them out too. I mean, am I going to be, these people, they put up with my shit and don't charge me for rent and any of that, and love me more or less unconditionally. Am I really, what is it to spend like a day of your life to just like make sure this laptop is working? And I'm trying to be grateful in that, there's much worse things you can wake up to. You might find out something happened to a family member, or one of them, or something like that. So, at the end of the day, as frustrating as it was, it's just a computer, folks. It's just a computer. That's okay. That's okay. So yeah, I mean, I think once they're done tonight, I might just double check a couple of things with Malwarebytes, because it is, I don't know, just if I need to add any exceptions or anything. What's this about a date? What's this? So, I guess backstory to set it all up, in case you're new. So maybe about 3 years ago, was using OkCupid, sending messages, not getting responses, blah blah blah. And I remember, you come across a girl, very curvy and shapy. So me, old Georgie boy gets excited. So yeah, message her, never heard back at all. So I was like, all right, whatever. So yeah, I remember, I think about 2 years ago, just like, they were interviewing for somebody, and like I see her walk in and interview. It was one of those like, oh shit, small world, right? God damn, small world. But I didn't really get the look of like, oh, I remember who you are. You're that one guy, none of that happened. So, you work with them, you chat here and there, blah, blah. And this is the one that I tried to ask out. Like some of us will use like a chat application, just to kind of get in faster contact with each other versus trying to go through email. And, she just told me, she put it she said something like, I think you're cool too, but I'm currently not accepting applications for dating or something. She's got a very sort of quirky something personality too, if you want to. I don't know how you describe it. So she put it, it's a nice way to say not interested. Although, it was a little bit vague in that, like, does that mean like you're not interested, or you're not dating right now? Something like that. Whatever. But it was amusing, whatever. So yeah, she doesn't work here anymore. And periodically I'll try to stay in touch and all that. So, and I know she's kind of got stuff going on right now. So I thought, like, I was just sitting there very frustrated and angry in the middle of sort of waiting for it to update or install or something like that. And I remember, like, man, should just like message her and try again, Justin should try again. I mean, I technically didn't get a no, like a no. And I mean, and it's one of those, I was overthinking it, and eventually it was like, motherfucker, like you don't work with this person, and more than likely you're never going to see them again. And it's not like you're being vulgar and whatever about it. I want to, put my hand, man, is it really that bad to ask in a nice way? So we were talking, and I just said, and kind of get things more on track, will you be accepting applications for dating? And she said, she replied and said, may very well will be, or something like that, and said, do you want me to let you know when applications will be open? I told her, indeed. I put like .com as like, applications, Indeed as in, I want to know, and like the website. Just kind of dumb. I know it's really, you guys sound retarded. I said I'll have to get my resume ready, and she liked it. So gave a thumbs up on that. So you never know. Old Georgie boy here might have a potential future date with a nice big old, curvaceous girl who's not 40 years old. But all joking and stuff like that, it's obviously it's nothing to sort of get terribly excited over or really get emotionally invested in at all. I mean, like I said, letting go, folks. Letting go. I mean, God, 5-10 years ago, the Georgie boy of back then would be, this is all I would be thinking about. Like, what? But there's no point. I mean, what is any of the, realistically, nothing will happen. And now if it does, sure, that's great. But, realistically, nothing will happen. And by the small off chance, whatever, that you do get together and go out for coffee, I mean, you may very well find out of like, oh shit, like, find them physically attractive. Yeah, I sort of like their personality, but when you actually get together on a date to try to get to know them, there's just sort of nothing there. So that's just something I have to really, I feel like that's something that I'm really having to learn is, you can't go from like oh man, from 0 to 100. I mean, you may in the, you know, just because you approach a girl or whatever doesn't mean she's going to be interested in getting coffee with you. Just because you get coffee with the girl, doesn't mean that even though you might find them physically attractive and think you sort of like their personality, you might find out, never mind. And I have to admit too, as much as the prospect of physical intimacy, especially with a girl who's curvaceous and shapely, as much as exciting as that sounds sometimes, it's very well one of those things that you'll have your moment of excitement and then it's sort of over and you're back to feeling like, whatever. So it's part of the letting go process. I had a brief moment of like, oh shit, that's another vague but whatever answer, but it seemed like there's a maybe. But no attachment, folks. No attachment. Worst case scenario, you never hear back again. But it's not like this person was contacting you to keep up with you, so to speak. I was the one who messaged her a couple of times. No, not like, oh, within a short span. No, that's needy. It's like weeks and shit apart. Just to see how they're doing. Worst case scenario, you would have never seen this person again. And it wouldn't affect your life whatsoever. So it doesn't change anything, right? So, although, sure would be nice to one day embrace a curvy female. Look her in the eyes, give her a great big kiss, and just, feel a woman's body in your arms. That sounds gay. Oh, man. Well, I don't really know. There's probably nothing else really left to say. That was my Tuesday. Hopefully everything actually works now. I can cook my damn steak and eggs. So much for trying not to stay up so late and not to eat so late. It's like it's 9:01 already p.m. folks. So on that note, we're gonna call it, and you folks have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.